Good morning, Bookstahooda to you. The reason I'm filming right now is because I finally started season 3 of the Musketeers. I watched the first and second episode, and it is it's kind of a mixture of feelings because I love the characters so much at this point. I have watched every episode of seasons 1 and 2 twice, and I've actually watched the pilot 3 times. I am about 230 pages into the book, and I'm loving it, even though it's vastly different from the show, but that's kind of why I love it. If they were too similar, I don't think I'd love it as much. I really like seeing the evolution of the story. And they're, not even the plot is the same. It's just they basically took the characters and the setting, and everything else is kind of thrown out of the water. Up until yesterday night, I had not cried at the Musketeers, even though in my heart I'm crying fangirl tears every moment I look at the screen. But they got me with the opening of season 3 it's near the end of the episode, and if you don't want to hear this is a spoiler, so it is revealed to the audience, you don't know at the beginning of the episode how much time has passed between the end of season 2 and season 3's opener, and I had expected season 3 to be the war, them just to be at war the whole time, and I was ready for it, and then they're only at war the first episode. And so far, I assume because of the armor outfits that are still, I haven't seen yet, that there will be more war, but it comes out that 4 years have passed since the end of season 2. That means that Aramis has been not part of the group for 4 years, and they come upon a a monastery, where Aramis is working, and he tried to become a monk there, but even the abbot was like, dude, you're not a monk. You can't. You're restless, I know. And Aramis ends up, having to save a bunch of children, and they run into the Musketeers, and all of the Musketeers look so, war-weary and tired, and they have gray hair, and battle armor, which, all of these things are great for my fangirl heart. And the reactions, the scene where they meet again after being apart for what has probably been 4 years, broke my heart. I started bawling. Porthos and Aramis are brothers, and they have a scene where Porthos is really mad at Aramis for having left him alone, and there's this scene where they're getting the monks out of the abbey or the monastery, and Porthos tells him, we used to be brothers, but you left me, and then later on he's like, well, you have to go help your brothers, talking about the monks, and I was like, ah! Aramis tries to hug him, and Porthos turns away, and it was so just emotional for me, obviously. But then, they get to blow up a cart of explosives together, and they bond again, and it was a very emotional time for me. I'm really loving how the characters have evolved. They are definitely more mature versions of themselves now. Aramis has learned things about himself. Athos has lost some of his broodiness. He seems to be opening himself up to things. Porthos didn't really need to grow. He was fine. Except for he was angry at Aramis for leaving him. But now that Aramis is back, he seems to be happy again. And D'Artagnan has grown from what I find in the books. He's not even supposed to be 20 at the beginning of the series, and he has grown into such a man. I'm so proud of him. He has dialed back the I'm gonna fight you right now thing 20%, 30%, which for him is quite a bit. He knows which fights are worth it. Can we talk about Constance D'Artagnan? My brain didn't register that now that they're married, she would be called Madame D'Artagnan. And the first time I heard it, I was just like, oh my god. she is killing it. Like, her outfit is amazing. She now runs the garrison. She was great in the first 2 seasons. Like, she kept growing as a character. She left behind the husband that she didn't give a shit about in the first place. And now she is running the mother effing garrison of Musketeers. She takes care of the guys. She runs the garrison like clockwork, I'm sure. Her outfit is amazing. Not that that really matters, but like, it is what a boss would wear. If I could wear that to a job interview, I would. So a very minor thing, but the fact that she still calls D'Artagnan after they're married, like, his first name is Charles. Like, D'Artagnan is now her last name, that she's still calling him D'Artagnan. I don't know. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed, but I understand. I mean, all of the other, well, Porthos' first name is Porthos. I assume Aramis's first name is Aramis, and Athos is probably, well, Athos is his last name, as you see from the casket of his brother, Thomas de Athos. Oh, there's a new female character whose name I think is Sylvia, and she's the new romantic interest for Athos. And I am a Milithos, like, supporter. I love Milady and Athos, but Athos has grown a lot as a character, so I understand that he is willing to move on. When Athos went to meet Milady and she was gone, I was like, it's still light outside! Milady, why? And then he picked up the glove, and all my little shipper heart wants is a scene where Athos and Milady meet again, and she gets really mad at him, and she's like, you didn't show up! And he's like, I did, I went, here's your glove, I picked it up, you know. I want that scene. But I don't think we're gonna get it, since I've seen pictures of Athos in a ponytail kissing what's-her-name. I do like the new character, though. She is... At first I was like, I will not like you because I ship him and Milady. But then she was a boss. Like, she can handle herself in a fight, and Athos is obviously impressed by that. Because he's gonna need someone that can, you know, he doesn't have to watch their back, and that was one of the greatest things about Milady. You didn't have to worry. Milady was already killing everyone in sight without you telling her to. Aramis and Athos have this conversation about Aramis being celibate for 4 years. And Aramis is talking about all the things about being a monk that have not, you know, that haven't bothered him. And he's like, I don't mind not drinking. I don't miss alcohol. I don't mind being celibate. And Athos just looks at him like, bro, and they laugh. But I'm so happy Aramis has, you know, realized that he's a musketeer, and that's what he is. So, season 3's villains. The whole plot, like, I realize it's been 4 years, but we find out that Louis had an older brother, King Louis had an older brother whose name was Philip, and he died. He was beaten to death by villagers. But now there's a bastard son of the king who's got a bad back, and he's like on some kind of weird drug all the time. It's probably opium. And he is also named Philip, and he's deformed, sort of. I mean, he has a bad back. And he is a bastard of the king. Like, isn't this the same person? I don't know. Like, why didn't they give him a different name? Maybe Philip is just a common name. But I don't like him. You're not supposed to, obviously. But the, like, super broody Assassin's Creed type guy who's the other villain, I'm just like, what is your deal, bro? Who are you? And these villains, I just want to know who they are. I feel like seasons 1 and 2 had a much clearer... They set up the plot sooner and better than this one. Just... I mean, I like in media res storytelling, which is where you start in the middle of events and then explain as you go, which they did with this season because you start on a battlefield and all my babies are in trouble, except for Aramis, who's off being a monk. Yeah, so I'm assuming the storytelling will get better as the episodes go on. And yesterday I read Musketeers for about 2 hours. I'm hoping I can do that again because it's getting so great. Like, my mind has finally adjusted to the language, and the plot is picking up, and D'Artagnan and Constance are together, and it's so cute. I mean, they're almost together. Like, I feel like she's been kidnapped or something, but when has she not been? Oh, the Constance and D'Artagnan reunion scene was everything I wanted it to be. Like, you don't know if they've been apart for 4 years, but it looks like they have. Like, she's kind of become the man in the relationship, and I love it. Like, D'Artagnan just kind of follows her now, because she knows what Paris has been up to, she knows the circumstances much better, and he's following her lead. He's not being the headstrong doofus, you know, whom I love, of course, but he's being more practical, and he is, as always, giving Constance the respect and admiration that she deserves. Portreville as Minister of War, like, I mean, I'm glad that he got a promotion that he actually wants this time, but the fact that he's, like, already somehow been demoted in the king, like, he is on the King's Council and he's one of the most powerful members, but there's, like, dirtbags around him again. He keeps getting, like, the king just won't ever listen to Treville unequivocally. There's always other people whispering in the king's ear, and the king is too stupid and self-interested to realize that Treville is where it's at. I'm thinking Milady will come back, but I'm deliberately not letting myself check IMDb to see. The fact that Constance isn't in 4 episodes has me very worried. And the fact that the next, like, each of the novels written by Dumas has a subtitle of the romances of D'Artagnan, like 1, 2, and 3. I'm like, does Constance die? Or is D'Artagnan a dick and, you know, like, doesn't stick around with her? I don't know. But I don't want to find, if Constance dies, I'm going to be very traumatized and upset, because she is one of my all-time favorite ladies. Thank you for listening, if you've been watching. Here I am, signing off. Bookstahooda. All for one. Is it one for all for one? Or all for one for all? It's only ever written once in the book, by the way. It's in the first book, in, like, the 2nd or 3rd chapter. Or no, like, right after they become a group. So, that's kind of funny. Bye!